Okay. So now after the prayer, let us begin with our preamble. As we all know, preamble is a very important part of our constitution, and it gives us the summary of what our constitution comprises of. So here it is. Let us begin. It took 2 years, 11 months, 18 days of hard work to write and complete our constitution. We prepared the Constitution of India together. Our constitution was adopted by the Assembly on 26 November 1949. It came into effect from 26 January 1950. And students, here is the preamble.
We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this Constitution.
So students, this was our preamble. Now, I would like to begin with the introduction of our guest for today. As you would have seen the flyer, the person for today's session is an advocate, Mr. Kiran Shinde sir. Mr. Kiran Shinde sir is an advocate in High Court and a renowned personality in our locality. He has done a lot of social work for the benefit of the society. Kiran sir and his wife together are involved in an NGO named AIM Foundation, which works for the upliftment of every section of the society. We are honored to have such a hardworking and social person with us today. Sir, on this occasion of Constitution Day, I request you to guide our students regarding some indispensable features of our Indian Constitution. So Kiran sir, I would like you to take the control. You can begin, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Sir, students are on mute, so you can just continue. Good morning from our side.
Okay. Okay, happy Constitution Day to all.
Thank you,
so
sir.
today
Same to
we
you.
have gathered here. Yeah, so today we all have gathered here to learn something about Constitution of India. First of all, we need to understand what is the Indian Constitution is all about. Indian Constitution is a set of rules and principles. And the Indian
Sorry to
Constitution
interrupt
assures
you,
the rights
sir.
and...
Sir, we cannot see you. Can you please put on your camera so that we can see you? The students will... Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Yeah. So today we are here to learn about Indian Constitution. Okay. We need to first understand what is Indian Constitution. What does it give us? So Indian Constitution is the set of rules and regulations, and it assures the rights and duties not only of an individual, not only of a citizen, but also about its states, that is the government of a country. Okay. Let us know something more about the Constitution. The very important and which makes us proud about the Indian Constitution is that it is the longest written constitution. It has 1,46,385 words in it. The Indian Constitution, it has 470 articles in it. And the Indian Constitution, being the longest written constitution, it has been divided into 25 parts. Now we need to understand from those 25 parts, which is the crucial one. To begin with, the crucial part is the whole constitution is a crucial part, because without the constitution, no state can run, and there will be a law and judiciary problem if there is no constitution to a country. But out of those crucial part, the most crucial part is the part 3 of the Indian Constitution. And the part 3 of the Indian Constitution deals with the fundamental rights of an individual. Okay, so now today we will learn about what are those fundamental rights which are given to us as a citizen of a country. So let us now know more about the fundamental rights. There are in total 6 fundamental rights. Let us know in short what are those fundamental rights. The rights are right to equality, then the right to freedom, then the third one is right against exploitation. The fourth one is right of religion. The fifth one is right to constitutional remedy, and the sixth one is right to educational rights. Okay, these are the 6 fundamental rights that we have. These are only the names. Now let us see what does it have in it for us. If we want to stay in this country, okay, what all rights are being conferred to us? What are our rights, and which can be used by us? Let us see that. Right to equality. Right to equality guarantees equal right for everyone, irrespective of religion, gender, caste, race, and place of birth. What does it mean? It means that there cannot be any kind of discrimination on the basis of gender, religion, caste, race with anyone. So all are equal in our country. This is the first fundamental rights which is given to us as a citizen. Let us know about the second fundamental right. The second fundamental right is right to freedom. Now in this there are various other. Madam, do we am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes.
You can
Yes,
continue.
sir.
Okay. Yeah. Now, right to freedom, there are various other things which are included in right to freedom. Let us know about that. Freedom is one of the most important ideals cherished by any democratic state. Now, what is democracy? Democracy means a government which is of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay. So it is our government. Okay. So we need to have our freedom in that government. So what all kinds of freedom do we enjoy through these fundamental rights? Let us know about that. We have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of assembly without arms, freedom of association, freedom to practice any profession, and freedom to reside in any part of the country. So these are the things which we get in the right to freedom. Okay. Now, let me tell you, these are being the fundamental rights, these are not absolute. There are some restrictions which the state can put on its citizen whenever it is necessary. To give a good example, let us see during this COVID situation, as we said, we have a freedom to move around in our country without any kind of restrictions. Okay, this is our fundamental right. But during this COVID situation, there were restrictions which are put on the citizen. But it was for the good and for the benefit of the individual, the citizen of the country. So we have to abide by those. So all these fundamental rights, no doubt, they are very important and they are given by our Indian Constitution to us. But there are restrictions which are put on the citizen whenever it is necessary. Okay. Now we saw about the right to freedom. Now let us move to the third fundamental right, that is right against exploitation. What is there in the right of exploitation? The right implies the prohibition of traffic in human beings, like beggar, forced labor, and there are children which are working as a forced labor in the factories. Okay, so the constitution prohibits all such kind of illegal activities, and this is been given to us in the right against exploitation. So now you being all the children, let me give you one good example for this as well. When we roam around with our parents or with our friends, we have seen there are small children which are begging on the streets, okay, and they are helpless. They are forced to do that. So in that situation, what we should do? We should use this right against exploitation. We should use this power which is given to us by the government, and we should complain about all such illegal activities to the investigating agency, that is the police. Okay. Now we saw about the right against exploitation. Now let us see about the fourth fundamental right, that is freedom of religion. What is there in freedom of religion? This indicates the secular nature of Indian polity. Now, India is a secular country. We all know that. Okay. There is equal respect given to all religion. Freedom of conscience, profession, practice, propagation of religion. The state has no official religion. Okay. Every person has the right to freely practice his or her faith, establish and maintain religious and charitable institution. Okay. So if we are born, to give a simple example, if we are born in any of the religion, okay, and if in our lifespan, if we think that no, we do not want to follow a specific religion, we want to follow a different religion, we are free to do so. And which is given to us, we have this power, we have this right given by the constitution to us through this fundamental right, which is freedom of religion. Okay. Now let us see about the fifth fundamental right. Okay, the fifth fundamental right is cultural and educational right. What is there in cultural and educational right? These rights protect the right of religion, culture, and linguistic minorities by facilitating them to reserve their heritage and culture. Educational rights are for ensuring education for everyone without any discrimination. Okay, so what is there in this is that we are free and we should protect the linguistic and the minorities and the religion. Okay. The second thing in this part deals with two things. First is the cultural and the second is educational. Educational is right to education. In our country, there is right to education to each and every child to take education. And the government of our state or the government of different states, the whole Indian government has given the facility that each child should get free education. Okay, there are various services which are implemented by various non-governmental organizations and other institutions where the right to education is given to the children. Okay, this was the fifth fundamental right. Now let us see at the last but not the least. This is the right to constitutional remedy. What does this deal with? The constitutional remedy means if these fundamental rights which are given to us, okay, these are enacted by the policymakers and implemented by the executors. Okay, but if in case these enacted laws which are implemented by the executors, if in any of this case, if those fundamental rights are not given to us, if there is a violation of fundamental right, in that case, what all remedies do we have? There is this fundamental right. The sixth fundamental rights deals with that. We have a constitutional remedy if there is a violation of our fundamental rights. And then in that case, we can move to the court of law and we have a right to fight for our fundamental rights. Okay, so this fundamental rights deals with the constitutional remedies. So this was all about the fundamental rights that is given to us by the Constitution of India. Okay, now what are the key points that we learn for you children in this constitution is there are some 4 to 5 points that you have to understand and keep in mind, which will be crucial for you people in your future life. What do we know about the constitution? It is a set of rules and regulations, and it gives the rights and duties of not only the individual but also the state. Okay, and who made this constitution? The constitution is made by the Constituent Assembly. Okay, and who was the principal architect in the Constituent Assembly? Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Okay, so these are the things we have to understand. Now the third, as the madam started the this session with the preamble was amended. In this and that amendment, we should know about the 42nd amendment, which was the most crucial amendment till date. Okay, so you all need to know about the 46th amendment as well. Okay, this was the third crucial part. Now the fourth thing we need to know is the Indian Constitution was or is divided into 25 parts, 25 different parts. And the most crucial part deals is the part 3, that is the fundamental rights, okay, which is given by the Indian Constitution. Okay, fifth thing what we need to know is the Indian Constitution has how many articles? It has 470 articles. It is the longest written constitution of the world. Okay, so all these things are you people should keep in mind, okay, which will be helpful to you people. Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Every word that you said was valuable for us. I would like Asanta ma'am to express her gratitude for sir.
Before that, I would like our students to ask some questions if they have. So students, if you have questions, you can raise your hand so that Mr. Shinde will answer your questions. Yes, anybody has some questions to ask? Yeah, Pritish, Alka teacher, will you please unmute Pritish?
Yeah,
Rishita, first Pritish.
I think Pritish lowered his hand. I will unmute Rishita first.
Okay.
Yes, Rishita, you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, sir. I just want to ask that, is there any law for children where they can complain against their parents?
Yeah, definitely there is a law.
Sir,
Yes,
again
yes.
your video is off. Can you please put on your video, sir?
Yeah, just a minute. Huh? Yeah, definitely there is a law which gives you the right to complain about your parents. Okay, if there is exploitation, as we saw, there is a fundamental right where there is a right to fight against the exploitation. Okay, so you can go through that. You'll come to know if there is any kind of exploitation, not by the unknown people, but by the parents as well. You can go and complain to the police regarding that.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, Rishita.
Thank you, sir.
No, but practically there are a lot of cases like this, okay, and there are genuine cases in which we have seen that the parents behave in very ruthless manner with their children, which is not good, okay, and in that case they have raised complaint with the police. So these are the practical questions. Very good question.
Thank you, sir. Here, you want to ask anything to sir?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir. I wanted to ask that people are questioned regarding certain culture norms. How could we solve the fight against supervision of certain culture practices?
No, I did not get your question. Sorry.
People are questioned regarding certain culture norms. How could
Okay.
we solve the fight against supervision of certain culture practices?
There are, see, all these rights are given in the fundamental rights itself. Okay. Now we have seen there is a fundamental rights which give or which safeguard the people from the minorities. As you said, there are some cultural norms which are being questioned by the citizen, by the other people regarding a section of a society. Okay. In that case, they can safeguard the rights which are given to them. These safeguards are given to them by the constitution. If you could say there is a right to religion, okay, in that if there is any kind of minority and they are facing any kind of problem regarding the safety, they can raise their voice to the investigating agency through this fundamental right given to them by the Constitution of India.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. A last question, Drumil.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
I have one question. When the children's vaccine comes,
Oh, see, you need to ask this to
Oh,
your
sir will
doctor
answer
first.
this question.
No, that is okay, not a problem. But this is the biggest question because now from 1st of December, the schools are reopening and there will be practical presentation of all the students and a lot of parents are against this. Okay. So we are not yet sure about it. So let's see what is happening. We can just hope for the best and let's see when the vaccine come for the small children.
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Good day. Enjoy your day. Okay.
Just a minute, sir.
Yes,
Ma'am,
sir.
continue.
Yes, Mr. Kiran Shinde sir, it was wonderful time listening to you, and you interacted very well with our students, and you satisfied their queries very well regarding exploitation. If they have to complain about their parents, they can approach police. This kind of guidance you gave them, it is really thing which is going to empower them, and they are trying to taking care of themselves. So I really appreciate that. As well as you spoke about minority and how minority can be safeguarded using the fundamental rights. You spoke about constitution and also the basic things that we should know about constitution. So that is really helpful, and students are going to appear for a small quiz in which this all information which you have shared with us will be very useful, and maybe they will be the winners during that quiz. So I really appreciate your efforts, and I thank you. Thanks a lot. I express my gratitude on behalf of my school, that is Mumbai Public School, Chikuwadi. So thank you so much, sir, for your guidance.
All my pleasure. All my pleasure. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And students, you can thank sir by just putting your thumbs up. So it will
Pushpa
be,
Mary, ma'am, would you like to add something?
yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And I liked, and the children felt so like you were like a social science teacher and explaining a civics lesson. And it was wonderful, really. And children connected with you, and they were feeling so free to talk to you. I think there were few more questions to come, but due to lack of time, we cannot do that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir, you can end the session from your side. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And all the best to those students who are going for the quiz. Okay. All the best.
Thank you
so
from
much,
their
sir.
side, sir, because they are
Bye.
all on
Bye.
mute.
Bye.
Yeah, bye,
Bye.
sir. Thank you so much.
So students, it was really wonderful session. You must have learned so many things about constitution from Mr. Kiran Shinde, and you must be knowing the basic things about constitution. So the teachers will share a link with you all. It's a quiz so that you can participate in that quiz, and you will be the winner if you have really good knowledge of constitution, or before entering into the competition. That is the quiz. Before solving the link, you could just go through the articles or things that are there about constitution, online on Google. You can Google it. Sir shared very lot of important points like articles, how many articles are there, and amendments, and how many parts are there, and which part is important. All these things are going to help you in solving that quiz. So do go through the quiz, and before attending quiz, you can do little study regarding Constitution, and then you can solve your quiz and can be the winner. So I wish you all good luck for your quiz, and I appreciate Alka teachers' efforts in conducting this session, as well as I would like to appreciate our students who asked the questions. Heed, Rishita, and Dhrumil. You did wonderful job. It's very important to take participation, and it will shine your personality. So I appreciate three of you. And Dhrumil, your question was very spontaneous. I loved your confidence. So I appreciate all the students who actively participated in the session today. Alka teacher, you can end the meeting today.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.